So when it comes to self-improvement, I believe we all have a very similar journey. You first get onto self-improvement, perhaps it was through NoFap. You realize how bad your porn addiction was and you had to quit. And then you start getting down the rabbit hole of learning about dopamine detoxes and all this other stuff like meditation, gratitude journaling. And you become a fiend for self-improvement. All you care about is self-improvement. You're watching all the YouTubers, you're finding all the knowledge. You're like, wow, this is all crazy. How do I get a streak? How do I start meditating? How do I start gratitude journaling? How do I start manifesting a dream life? How do I start a business? And you become obsessed with self-improvement. And that's great. I think that's a great place to be in when your life revolves around self-improvement, because I think there's seasons in life where you have to be obsessed with it. You have to be obsessed with self-improvement to really just excel in your progress. Like, I'm going to show you a quick video of me a year and a half ago trying to make a YouTube video, and then you can see me now, how much I've changed.
Social media is a fucking addictive. It's ruining lives, bro.
Bruv, like, I look like a gremlin, do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know what that attention, or whatever I said, like, what was that, bruv? But that was when I was deep into self-improvement. I was cold approaching girls. I remember I met some Saudi Arabian girl in Kingston and we ended up going to London together and having a great day out. She's in Saudi Arabia now, but like, it was all these things that I was doing that was just pushing me so forward in self-improvement. It was making me into a really strong, disciplined man. And then I started falling off. I started getting the self-improvement pride. I thought I was too good for Hamza. I thought I was too good for these self-improvement videos. In fact, I thought I was too good for it all. You think, oh, I'm attracting girls. Now, I feel like this is the downfall to most people, is you start attracting the girls and then you're like, cool, I can relax. I'm attractive. The girls are coming to me. I've got a girlfriend now. And I feel like that's the downfall to self-improvement, because a lot of us get into self-improvement because we're not attracting girls. Like, the main goal, because of NoFap, because of dopamine detoxing, we all do that with the sole purpose of attracting a female. And then once you start getting the attraction, you start losing the motivation to be as disciplined as you was. You start perhaps going on a few dates. Maybe you do lock down a girlfriend and now you're seeing her like here and there, maybe too many times a week. And you just start falling off. You're not as disciplined. You're struggling to get back on the grind of self-improvement. And deep down, you want to be meditating. You want to be gratitude journaling. But now you're at a place where you're not as good as you used to be. You're not as disciplined as you used to be. You're not meditating as much as you used to be. And I've been there. I've been in the ways where you're up here, you're meditating a lot, and then suddenly you crash down. Something happens and you're like, what happened? And I think when it comes to self-improvement, you get the pride. You get this pride that you're too good for it, especially when you're attracting girls. You think you're too good. And that's why most people who get onto self-improvement usually go through heartbreak, usually weren't attracting girls in the first place. You don't really find someone who's already attracting girls on self-improvement. Or they already was on self-improvement, they just didn't realize it. Perhaps they were going to the gym, eating healthy. It was just like a normal way of life for them. Or they were just naturally attractive and they were attracting girls from the get-go. So once you start attracting girls, which is like your sole purpose of meditating, self-improvement, you fall off because you're like, well, I achieved the goal. And this is exactly what happened to me, to be honest. I was in university and I was on self-improvement and I was, really disciplined. And then I started attracting girls. And then I started finding less motivation to go to the gym. I was finding less motivation to meditate because I was like, well, I've got girls. And I remember I had a conversation with my boy at the time and I was like, bro, like, I'm attracting girls. I feel no motivation to go to the gym. Like, this is a terrible thing. I didn't like it. But because I had no why to do everything else, I struggled to motivate myself to do any of the good habits, because I was like, well, I'm attracting girls. Like, it is what it is. And you just find yourself getting distracted. So really, when it comes to self-improvement and not gaining that self-improvement pride where you think you're too good for it because you're attracting females now, you need to set a bigger goal. You need to set a bigger why. Like, your why for self-improvement, realistically, it can be, girls if that's your motivation, but you need to look further than that. You need to think, okay, what if I do start attracting girls? What's my bigger reason for this self-improvement? Why am I disciplining myself? Why am I waking up early in the morning and going to the gym, then meditating for 10 minutes and then gratitude journaling and working on my business? Is it all to attract girls? Like, because what happens when you do start attracting the girls? Then what? What's your motivation there? Because it's a terrible place to be in when you're kind of lost with a purpose. You're not really sure why you're doing things. And look, perhaps you don't run into this issue. Perhaps you get a girlfriend and you're actually really disciplined and you're still, doing your good habits day in and day out. You're ticking off your task list. But trust me, bro, it's very unlikely. When you get a girlfriend, like, you kind of fall off a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it just happens. It just happens. Like, unknowingly, you know, you go stay with your girl for a couple days and you come back and you're a bit off, you've had a bad sleep, you've been up all night, you wake up late, and then, you know, you're back at your normal home and you've carried on these habits. So it's a very important thing that you understand why you're doing self-improvement. You need to know why you're doing this stuff. Is it just to attract girls, or is it for a greater thing? Is it something bigger than a girl? Is it something past that? Is a girl just a add-on to your life, which it should be? A girl should be a complement to your life. It should just be slotting into your life. It shouldn't become your life. Your life shouldn't revolve around your woman. It should revolve around you and your self-improvement and your purpose with God. And I truly believe that is the best way to be on self-improvement. It's having a bigger why that you almost can't achieve. You know, for me right now, my purpose in life is to inspire people, to bring people closer to God, to spread a good message and inspire the youth and inspire the people who resonate with my message. That's my purpose now. And that's such a bigger purpose because that almost feels like I can't accomplish it, you know, but it's something I can continue to strive for and achieve mini goals, because that will never stop. I can never stop spreading God's word. I can never stop pursuing inspiration, because inspiration is infinite. It's a spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing. Whereas a female's love is physical. You need a physical woman to love you. Whereas inspiration, you know, I speak to a camera and I can inspire someone. I can inspire someone to rethink their goals, to be like, okay, maybe woman isn't a good one. How could I find something that is meaningful to me that I can pursue in the long term? Because this inspiration goal is long term. You know, it never ends. And of course it will change over time perhaps, but right now I'm fixed on inspiration. I want to inspire people. So my question to you is, what's your greater purpose? What's your higher purpose in doing self-improvement? Why are you doing all these business adventures? Why are you starting this YouTube channel? Why are you doing everything you do? Is it something for the physical, which is cool? You can have them goals. I've had it before and it can help you excel, but you just need to think long-term. Like, what's your higher purpose? Why are you doing all these things? Why are you actually doing these things? And don't make one up and just think, oh, you know, I'm doing it for my future children. Because I've been there. You know, I've been there trying to make one up. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it for my... It doesn't motivate you as much as you think. And perhaps it does, but it didn't motivate me. Okay, that's from my personal perspective. Like, it had to be a higher reason. I had to find purpose within all of this. Because, again, that's still a physical goal. Like, oh, I do it for my kids, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a physical thing. Okay? The children, you know, it's going to be materialistic and you're going to be giving them money. Okay? Cool, you can have that as a goal. But what's a higher spiritual meaning? What's the meaning behind your life? You know, that's what you want to seek. And the best way I've found that is through meditation, journaling, and fasting and prayer. And what I mean by fasting is abstaining from food and just spending time with God, just praying, asking for guidance, asking for a spiritual purpose. Like, why am I here? What can I do which is bigger than myself, which helps others? Because that's another thing that, in addition to purpose, is how are you helping others? You know, I think that's the greatest purpose you can have, is not a purpose that is selfish, but a purpose that is selfless. You know, and of course, there's always going to be selfish reasons to a goal. Like, of course, you want to make money, you want to have a platform, you want to speak, you want to, you know, spread the message that you have in your heart. But you also want to have a selfless one of like, I'm helping people. I want to inspire people. I want to help people get out of the situation that I was in 2 years ago and now speed up their process again. Like, you know, these are all things that are helping others. It's selfless. So to avoid the self-improvement pride, ask yourself, what is your higher purpose for this? Figure out your reason you're actually doing it. Perhaps you're not even aware why you're doing self-improvement. You're just doing it. But realistically, it's just to attract girls. Like for most people it is, you know? So find out a greater reason to do self-improvement, and you'll find that your consistency and your motivation and your discipline just improves 10 times, because now you're doing it for a great reason. You have a goal in mind that is almost unachievable, but it's a goal that is fulfilling, okay? Because a goal doesn't need to be achieved for it to be fulfilling. It's usually the process and the journey that fulfills you. So if you have a goal of inspiring people, sure, you can inspire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, but that in number is infinite. You can never reach the goal of inspiring people, because it's just a continuous thing. It's an ever-going, long-lasting purpose. And that's where I'm at right now. But I'm not saying your purpose is to inspire people. I'm telling you to find one that fits you, that is more spiritual and not physical, that isn't just material. It isn't just something like love from a woman. What is a greater gift that you can give to the world? That is where your purpose should come from, okay? So meditate, contemplate and journal and use introspection to understand yourself and really figure out, what do you want in this life? And then fast and pray. You know, pray to God. ask him to show you where you're meant to go. And it usually just comes as a small voice, as a gut feeling of like, Jacob, go this way. Jake, go this way. John, go this way, you know? And have trust in that pursuit. And the thing is, you might do it for 2 years and then you fulfill that purpose. And you're like, oh, this doesn't really feel good for me anymore. Like, God, what do I need to do now? And then you find like a new purpose to go down. For me, like last year, it was making a fashion brand and inspiring people to become artists. Now it's about inspiring people to come to God and be a better person. That's where I'm at right now. And maybe 5 years down the line, it might be completely different. Okay, but right now I'm in the pursuit of fulfillment, not the pursuit of chasing materialism. Because I believe that is where fulfillment truly comes from.